Critters in Taiwan.
There it is. And we good. We gone.
Hey, we're on the internet. Right on. Welcome to Critters in Taiwan, a D&D podcast about Critical Role, where a bunch of nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons & Dragons. I am Ben in Kaohsiung.
I am Tim in Taichung.
And we're a couple of critters and in Taiwan, and we've had a couple weeks off, and I think we're feeling the grind. You feeling the November grind? I'm feeling
you mean
the
like at
November
work
grind.
or what?
Yeah, oh yeah, it's like this long stretch in between holidays where things just sort of grind in.
I think what did it for me was that 4-day weekend we had. Just ever since you get that, it's tough to get back into work mode.
That's the last holiday until Chinese New Year. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't get another one until Chinese New Year in January. So I think that's more what I mean by the long grind. I know what's ahead of us. A couple of months of just grind.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's we don't need to dwell on that. But I will say one thing. Did you happen to go outside and see the eclipse tonight? The lunar eclipse?
We are clouded over, at least where I am. Although I did see some people who live in the
Most
city.
of the north is. Yeah.
Yeah, who got some pictures of it.
Mm-hmm. I finally got out. I took my students out at 6 because I thought it would be up, but it wasn't even across the horizon at that point. It was just I was at the level, and where our school is, there's buildings everywhere, so you couldn't see it. But I went up to my roof when I got back from work about half an hour ago and took a little picture of it, and it was about half eclipsed.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
So I
according
saw
to
it.
the countdown, it was supposed to start
Five-ish.
shadowing at about 4:15 or so, like something like that.
5 o'clock, yeah, just
About
after
5? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool event. A rare one, a real rare lunar eclipse. 1 in 2,000 years or something like that. I mean, for this type of with Uranus in conjunction or something. There's some thing
okay,
about
I
it.
see.
I don't know what it
I
means.
was gonna say, like,
It's a very rare one.
Huh.
But it's for other reasons, whatever. Anyway, if you saw it, nice.
Yeah,
Nerds.
wish I did.
Nerd stuff.
I didn't try because it's.
But
It was clouded.
in Critical Role stuff, tonight we're talking about Campaign 3, episode number 39, The Momentum of Murder.
The momentum of murder. What?
Yeah, kind of felt. I dig this one because this episode sort of felt like just dominoes, just going, snowballing and going and moving, and dominoes rolling down a snow-covered hill, turning into snowanimos.
Snow on hose? You calling these guys hose?
Yeah.
It felt like a really comfortable episode, I think.
I really enjoyed it. It was a nice way to come back after a break.
Yeah.
I liked it.
And kind of speaks for itself a bit, at least according to my small page of notes.
You told me on our text thread that you had a couple of things to say about the four-sided dive that was also this past week.
Yeah.
Did you want to address them first or hold on to them?
Either way,
Okay.
it's just something that happened in between the last episode and now.
Yeah, I kind of had. Well, if you, I don't know. I was thinking we could throw one out now or throw them out later. It's up to you.
Well, sure. I mean, I have so few points. I mean,
Okay.
if I throw one out now, then I've got less for rollies.
Yeah. All right. Well, then let's hold on to it until later.
Okay.
Maybe it'll come in. Mine doesn't really. I was thinking maybe I'd say it now, but it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
I do want to say something though about before we get into the episode. We've got the Nordverse one shot and the double two-part Mighty 9 double shot. I don't know if you call it a double shot, but I call it a double shot.
Wait a minute. One of them
I'm
is
excited.
today or tomorrow for us.
November 8th. So it will be tomorrow morning for us.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
I'm stoked.
And I
We
got
something to do tomorrow night.
I got tomorrow afternoon off, so hey,
It's going to be hilarious. Can I make a prediction?
go ahead. This is the Nordverse one, right?
The Nordverse one. Yeah, the Nordverse one will be tomorrow. The Mighty 9 two-shot, I think, is in December.
Like late this month or December. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't remember. Maybe it's like the end of the month, the beginning of the month. It might be splitting anyway. Okay, I wrote this down because I found it freaking hilarious. At 1 hour 44 and 40 seconds, where Matt is describing one of the Wilders going through Ashtaros's manor and taking an inventory of all the things in the kitchen. when he says the word Wilder going through the kitchen, Laura sort of goes, "Wild out." And they all started looking, and Matt started laughing, and they're all like, yeah, haha. And then Sam goes, "That doesn't exist yet." And Laura's like, "Yeah, it does." And Sam's like, "No, it hasn't happened yet." And Matt's like, "Well, they'll find out. They'll find out." You're crossing the streams. And then Marisha's like, "Oh yeah, I get it now. I get
That's
what you're
what
talking about.
crossing
That's
the
right.
streams meant there.
This hasn't happened yet." And then they chat for a minute, and then Ashley goes, "Oh, I get it, right?" Because so speaking of dominoes, there was this domino of events that was sort of happening, and wild out. So I'm gonna bet that it is a elite bit of terminology that came out during the Nordverse one shot. That's just my prediction.
I think that's exactly what it is. Man, I wonder how many things have got all juggled. That must still be somewhat chronological, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think with what they've done in the past, they've even done this in the past with a lot of, I think even before they were pre-taping stuff, they were doing these one-shots well ahead of the actual live stream of the thing. And they pre-recorded it. They would talk about it. They'd be like, "You guys are going to really like it." I remember specifically the Dallin's Closet one-shot where they went back and did the marriage of Percy and Vex.
Yeah.
They talked a lot. They hyped it up, saying, "You guys are gonna love it. It's really fun. It's really touching. It's exciting." And because they had already filmed it, right? They'd already taped it, and yeah. So I think that's just one more case of what's going on here.
Yeah, it's kind of funny though, because like on the our Friday episode, they're talking about some reference to something that comes out after that episode.
Yep.
That usually doesn't happen. Like,
no, there's a lot of crossing the streams here.
Yeah, I didn't know what the fuck they were talking about because like there was like maybe 5 minutes more down the line there was a reference to the second campaign. I thought maybe they were, I don't know. I was like I just assumed it was some inside joke that I didn't get from some other. But yeah, that's probably it for sure.
Mm-hmm. I hope so. I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be a really fun little cute one shot where it's good because the Nordverse ads are ridiculous. And
Sam's running it. Come on.
It's going to be insane. It's going to be insane.
Yeah. It's going to be, yeah. But I'm looking forward to it. Something to do after work tomorrow, which I have a half day tomorrow.
Ooh, lucky you.
It's my prep day. So, and everything's all prepped and I've got everything finished for the rest of the semester. So I'm just taking the half day.
Perfect.
Go to the gym early, get out when it's a gorgeous day instead of sundown, And,
yeah, it's this time of year is always a little bit weird, eh? I come out of work and I'm like, oh yeah, dark.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Always dark.
I couldn't make it to the gym today, but I cycled home and it was pretty dark by the time I got here already. Tis the season, man.
Yeah, man. Early November. All right, I have a duodecahedron. No, they're not duodecahedrons. They're called polyamorous.
Icosahedron? Because
polyamorous.
dodeca is 12. I think Icasa is 20.
Cool. I have one. Would you like to?
I should have another one, but
have you haven't got it yet?
Hasn't arrived yet. I mean,
damn. I was hoping. I wasn't gonna ask. I was kind of hoping you just sort of go
looking at this shirt and like, oh, poor guy. Yeah, it's taking a while. Let's see how this is gonna start out.
Let's see.
Ooh, not bad. I got a 15, buddy.
I got a 3.
Hey, alrighty. All right, let's kick this off here. I guess I'll go in chronological order for us a little bit.
Okay.
So, on the four-sided dive, there's a quick question. On the four-sided dive, before we get into this new episode, I think they put in Matthew for reasons, every now and then when people, I mean, we need him every now and then, right? But the cast members, it's like Sam and Marisha in particular, stop asking questions about, Matthew's good at being like, you'll have to find out. And even, the questions from the cup and from the Tower of Inquiry, it's like, well, what's this about? And he's like, you keep watching, stop asking questions throughout the movie. Save the questions for the end.
That's right.
Then like Sam's sitting there like, can you do that? And like Marisha's like, yeah, is that all right? Like, guys, you don't know. Like, when he does answer something, he'll give you information about something, but they keep asking these things. I'm like, I got to stop watching this show if they keep asking these and something slips out.
See, I think that I'm just gonna throw it out there, and I think that is sort of I think there's a device that they use there where they're like, yeah, Matt, you're gonna tell us? It's a hype. It's a little bit of a hype machine, right? that they're sort of like they know he won't, and they're not doing it to see if he's going to slip up. They're
Right.
doing it to sort of build hype for
He slipped up
these
once,
things.
that one time
Yeah.
on Talks Machina.
I don't think it'll happen again. I don't think it really, and that wasn't even a big slip up, because wasn't really that influential.
I think it was coming up in the next episode anyway. I mean, it was going that way, it was pretty soon anyway. Yeah. Yeah. But then what about Taliesin giving out this information that he used to be an, however you say it, Asimar?
Asimar. Well,
Asimar?
Asimar.
Was this not knowledge that was out?
No, it wasn't. And I don't think he said that. I think he said that maybe he's like, I'm going to have to figure these things out. And because I think somebody asked him, you used to be Asimar or whatever. And he's like, well, there's some things we're going to talk about and you're going to figure out. And
okay. So it wasn't like yep, you got it.
The vibe I got very much was maybe you're just going to have to very much taking a page out of Matt's book and deflecting. You never know. It maybe we'll have to figure that out at some point. And
yeah, because I don't rewatch Four-Sided Dives, so I just kind of listened through the first time. I'm like, where did that idea come from? First of all, and then it sounded like he confirmed it. I'm like, what the fuck did I miss? Like I thought I had to watch the show again to catch what you're an awesome. Someone's got to teach us how to say that word. Do you know how to say it?
Asimar.
Because it's Asimar.
Asimar. They're awesomer. They're awesomer. Asimar.
Or is it ASMR? I mean, it's awesomer. Yeah, that's it for me. Yeah, Four-Sided Dive. If it's just hype, that's fine. But if they're gonna start giving information that I don't want to hear, then I gotta stay away.
Because I don't think that's what this show is about. I think the show is about answering the questions that are already that are just a little bit need more detail. Need a little more detail into it. Sure. Not revealing.
Nice. Especially hope they don't mess up with the time of release, because I don't know when they recorded that, and sometimes they'll ask like, wait, do they know what do they know now? They've had to ask that before. I just hope nothing slips then either. Right. I trust them so far, unless unless Ashton ends up being an awesomer character. I might get a little bit like, hey guys, they'll get a little. Get a little stern note from me,
I don't think he's gonna be. I think it's gonna be something a little bit different. I don't know what it may be, but I think we'll find. I don't. Taliesin plays this one really close, right? Like
he does. I mean, we know we're pretty sure he's half elven. That's about it, right?
Yeah, yeah. Not even totally sure about that one. I'll yes end that one with my very incredibly vague note that I left for myself that I thought was important, but I don't know what it means. I wrote down. For SD, Matt giving players input into where the Vox Machina NPCs are in life. I thought this was a really profound point, but now I don't know what I meant.
Were you drinking at the time?
No, but it was. I don't know. When was it, last Wednesday or something like that? So I probably wasn't really paying attention. I think what I'm talking about is that about Matt. The players like themselves putting input into
what I got from
where Vox Machina NPCs are and what they're doing. Right. And I think he was sort of talking about it was a very like amorphous sort of thing. Like it struck me as something because he had previously in the past said they're mine. These PCs are now my NPCs. And it was sort of a little bit of I'm not going to take complete agency away from these characters that you put so much blood, sweat, and tears into, that I'm going to let you have a little bit more say into what they do and how they act and where they go. I think what struck home was with Taliesin really talking about Percy and about how Percy feels about things. Oh, the cane, specifically the cane that Percy was using, and Taliesin commenting on that's not just a cane. And it was like, oh, okay, so you've had discussions with Matt about what that actually would be. Again, that's again, they didn't say it, but that's the read between the lines moment that I got. That there is sort of some collab between the players and Matt for how these NPCs are living their lives.
They could probably just easily be a casual conversation, you
Could be,
know? I mean, like they
totally.
talk to each other all the time. Probably doesn't have to be in a meeting type of setting, you know?
100%.
Like
And I
all
and
the
I
clock towers and shit. Like that was from way before game. He was like, I
Sure.
think he would be like a clockmaker, you know?
Yeah.
And then like
Yep.
a tinker after that, sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
well,
all
I
makes
think
sense.
that, like for somebody like Taliesin, who is very, very invested in these characters, I think that he would want more of his own little personal stamp on it. Whereas maybe a Travis would be like, "Yeah, man, Grog's yours. Whatever. I don't know. What would Grog do? I don't know. He was just random as fuck anyway. So yeah, have at it."
Yeah. Way different
You know.
now, but back then, I mean, you know,
Sure,
he's
sure.
still Travis, you know. Like we don't really know where Grog is at the moment
No,
either. I
no,
mean,
we
like,
don't know where Grog or Scanlan are. We know where the rest are, but not Grog or Scanlan. They're the two we didn't see.
Yeah.
And Terry, maybe I suppose if you count Terry, but
when did we learn about Pike and Scanlan like trying it and then breaking up?
I believe in the campaign 1 wrap up.
Oh, one wrap up.
Campaign 1 wrap up that the very end they said that they would have probably got married and then they probably got divorced and then that became canon.
Because that sounds like as fleeting as it is, you
Yeah.
know, as I remember it. Because I
And
remember
it's
like
in the it's actually in the one of the Tal'Dorei books. I don't remember which one, the Reborn
Okay.
or the first one. It's in one of them that actually it does talk about that, or it's on the Critterpedia. I forget, but it is a known that they were married and then they very soon after got divorced.
yeah, but they're still on
Didn't
good
last
terms and everything.
Yeah,
They're
that's
just
what-
like,
that's
yeah,
what-
this doesn't
yeah.
really work. Yeah, which actually makes a lot of sense to me. That does seem like an odd pairing. One more?
Shall we?
Oh, look at this. I forgot to take off the Tim wins. That's fine. Hey, 16 now. Look at that. He's got his ones. See, things turn around. I just needed a break, you know? All right.
Nat one.
Let's shoot.
My quick little sidebar, if I
Go
may.
ahead.
My DM has given us because at our it feels like at our table we roll recently. I've been rolling a lot of natural ones, so our DM has given us out inspiration cards at the beginning of every game now, and he's like, you can use these DM inspiration cards to negate, and this is cute, to negate the critical fail part of a natural one. It's still a natural
It's still a one,
but the critical.
But I'm not going to fuck you over.
The critical part of the failure is now so like as opposed to you swing and miss and your weapon goes flying into the pit of lava, you just swing and miss. So
Instead of getting lodged in the door, you got to do a strength check to get it out. Just like,
Yeah.
nope, you just miss.
I
Moving
rolled
on.
I think it was my first natural one of the day. It was fairly early into the session. I was like, nope, I'll give that card in. Yeah, well, it's been bad. Table's been cold. Anyway, sorry.
It's a
go
fun
on.
little rule. I like it. I'm going to jump into the episode then. I did have another one, but I don't know if it's if it comes up, it'll come up.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about these little skill challenges. I've got kind of two things to say about it, but I'll just split them up
Okay.
into one and one.
Okay.
How balanced do you feel that it is? Because
Which
I'm a
one are you
video gamer. Well, that
Which
they
skill challenge are you speaking of?
like this one when they're going from wherever they are to over the mountains
Eos.
back to Dressar. Where are they going?
No. Wait.
They're going over the Hellcatch, right?
They're going from Jassar to Eos in the airship.
Okay, right.
Right. Yep.
So they're going over the Hellcatch.
Yes.
Right. And it's they said it was 11
11
days
Yep. 11-day journey.
over the Hellcatch, but then a couple more if they go around.
I
don't
think it's
remember.
like on day 2 they get out of the valley. I believe I wrote it down. No, day 1. At the end of day 1, they reach the end of the valley. The valley narrows, he says, into a choke point, and then it opens up into the whatever the jungle. No, the jungles, or maybe the jungles. I forget. Yeah, it's kind of vague. I looked at a map and then I was like, I don't really understand what any of this means. So
Yeah, I
I'm
have
just gonna go with
vague
it.
memory of it from
Yep.
looking at a map as well from Reddit
Yep.
or something.
I'm still sort of confused about why they're even going to Eos, but it's all good. We'll figure that out once they get there.
That's what happens. Yeah,
Yep.
if you
Yep.
know, fucking check. We take a week off, we fucking lose everything.
Yep.
But how do you feel about the balance? I mean, like, as a video gamer, if I go from this place to this place, I can go back and forth. You have a few random encounters, and then it's no big deal.
Right.
You know, but in these cases, I've got another thing to say about this after this conversation. It seems like it could be catastrophic. You know, like last time their ship just got wrecked, you know, and like it's luck of the dice, sure. But it seems like there's a lot of negative things that I feel like it should be more or less smooth sailing unless you roll like a 2 or a 5 or something. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like, yeah, and you get there. That's why you have an airship. You know, like, is this airship going to last 2 more episodes, or
I don't know.
is it?
They only got to day 4 on this one, so they've still got 7 more. 8. Actually, they lost a day, so they only technically got to day 4, but they lost a day because they failed the storm.
Right.
Which means that they had adds a day of travel. So now they're looking at 12 days. So they've got 8 more days of travel here.
That was a fun failure, man.
Yeah,
I was just saying like 5, 3.
Oh, dude, I
3.
wrote them down because it goes 5, 15, 13, 1, 3, 3, 22.
What's wrong with you guys?
That was a great comment. 22. What's wrong with you guys?
He's just sitting in the last one. I love those low numbers because you don't see that a lot, you know? I mean, even the first campaigns, you know, you don't see this massive failure that happens. I'm like, all right, good. But I don't want them to lose this airship quite yet. I got this Final Fantasy vibes. Come on, let's keep it going.
None of us do. I think I still holding true to my prediction that they're going to spelljammer this shit in EOS. They're going to be going, something's going to happen on the way where they're going to have to, and they still got a bunch of gold. They could do it, I think. We'll see. I don't know how much a spelljammer ship costs. I have no idea. I haven't read the book yet, so I don't really know.
Yeah, I would say that's fairly down the line when that would happen, you know?
Could be. Or maybe not. I have theories about this too. Oh, if I may, I just remembered something. Mr. Ben Hamilton did ask us a question on the YouTube stream.
Oh, I forgot what it was. I looked at it last week.
When do you think this campaign will end? He sort of said 11-ish. Because that's when most do. I mean, VM went to 20 and Bell Cells went to 15. He's sort of thinking that they're going to go a little bit earlier. What did I say? Oh, sorry. Mighty 9 went to 15. I think Bell Cells, I think he's right. I think they're going to go to 11 or 12. And I think that's because that's when Calamity V2 comes in. I think Matt's going to reboot Exandria. We've talked about this before. So I think they're gonna get the Spelljammer ship at the end of this, and they're going to get to Ruida somehow. I don't know how this is going to work, but they'll figure it out. I don't have specifics. I just have broad ideas. And then I think that what's going to happen is that's going to be the Final Fantasy vibe, and then that'll be the Final Fantasy thing, and that'll be the final BBEG, and then there'll be the big fight, and then Calamity 2.0 happens. And then Campaign 4 will not be Matt Mercer at the helm. It will be somebody else. And
talked about that one, yeah.
Because Exandria will be no more. There will be something in its place. Maybe still Exandria, but it won't be Tal'Dorei and Wildmount and Marquette, et cetera, et cetera. They'll be different.
Wildly different. Yeah, Campaign 1, just destroy him you know, and then
it'll be well, yeah, because it'll be they've done everything. It's going to feel to keep momentum going. They need a massive change.
Yeah.
Which is what a Calamity 2.0 would do.
A calamitous change, a cataclysmic change, catastrophic, colossal. How many other C words?
Ruidus crashes into Exandria.
A C-worded change.
There's your change.
There's a change. Yep. Yeah. Destabilize its orbit. Fucking
there you go.
Plummeting right in. There's a lot of astronomy in there. I don't know if he's got it. You know.
Well, magic changes things, right? Like if all the world's druids, there could be things that could be done, especially if it takes some time. I don't know. The Apogee Solstice is what would they say, 3.5 weeks
like
away?
A month away, yeah.
Yeah, so they've got some time to get some stuff done.
Oh shit! After they go through that, after this trip, that's 11 days out of 4 weeks, dude. That's a lot.
12 days now.
Yeah. So when they're finished, wait,
a couple weeks.
When it ended, what did they? Where were they? They were still on the ship, right?
Okay. Day 4 of the ship. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. So they've still got like they've half a week. So they've got. He said 3.5 weeks. So they've got about. Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. If it's day 4 and it takes 12 days, they could fail another challenge. Yep. If another challenge comes up.
Could be 2 weeks, which puts it at a week and a half.
Or they could just sail right through, like I would expect them to kind of do. You know, like are there that many dangers up in the air? That's why people have airships, to avoid the dangers and the slowness of the ground. You know.
Sure, I agree. I will yes end that one if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
With the fact that I am really surprised that he's doing this roll for day 1, roll for day 2, roll for day 3, roll for day 4.
I'm saying, yeah.
The surprising, but I'm going to take a slightly different tact on it. In the past, when they would do these long journeys with Vox Machina or with most recent memory with Mighty Nine, especially when they're like, okay, it's about a 5-day journey, a week journey to Zadash. Day 1, what would you like to do? And then Caleb will be like, okay, I'm going to take Yasha aside. I'm going to be like, hey, I'd like to do this thing. And Jester going out and doing her thing, whatever, with it. Like when they had some downtime in Zadash, and she goes out and finds the Platinum Dragon and has that fucking amazing experience with Nott where they almost get arrested. And then there's like, Caduceus going and doing his things, and Ford going out. He's like, I'm going to go out and travel down to the coast and try and find some people who knew about this guy. And they all had their things that they were going out and do. They and even on the road, they would go out and they would say these things. And the massive RP that they bring to that part of the adventure lends to what's the word that I'm looking for? The party cohesion, and more bonding. Really, bonding is what I'm looking for. This campaign feels to be lacking that. It feels like they are not so much interested in bonding as a party as they are reaching a goal.
Yeah.
It feels like at the end of at about halfway through the episode, that's where the momentum part of this title really struck home to me. I'm like, yeah, this is just all they're doing is just they're like running downhill. For 39 episodes, it feels like they've just been running downhill.
Trying to
just
figure out the
going
title.
and going and going and going.
They're talking about the wake of the murder, choice of words, of Esteros, right?
Of Esteros, yeah.
Okay, so that's the momentum they're going off of. So he got murdered, and now they're doing stuff.
Now they've got it. Now they've got it.
Letters.
They feel like they got to get out of town because Otohan Thule is chasing them.
Right.
And they don't want. And so it's like we have to do this. We have to do that. We have to get out of here. We got to go here. We got to go there.
Yeah.
That's where I take it. But it feels like now they're on the airship. They've got downtime. They've got some time. And Matt does say, to his credit, he says right at the end of right before whatever, we'll screw through this with as much haste as we can. And then it's like, yeah, if anybody wants to, what does he say? If feel free to jump in with any conversations or anything that you want to have.
Right.
But nobody seems interested. And I'm sort of like, yeah, this is the lack of role playing that they're missing out on is fucking with the party's cohesion. I feel like. Yeah,
it's kind of been a thing that we've chatted about mostly offline. Is this the vast difference between the feel of all the 3 different campaigns,
Yeah.
Like first one feels like a video game, second one feels like an audiobook,
right.
And this third one seems like a mystery novel,
Right.
We don't know shit still,
No. 39 episodes in, we know very little about anybody.
I think that I don't want to say takes away because that sounds too negative, but that's something that gets in the way of the cohesion.
Totally. Don't get me wrong. I'm fucking loving this campaign. I think it's amazing. I laugh. I think it's hilarious. I think it's awesome. Combat's great, and the role playing they do is great. I just feel like they're missing an opportunity here, and it sort of go back to like the way that they in the wake of the Otohan Thule fight, that combat where they really got their ass handed to them badly. Not because she really destroyed them, but because they fucked up so badly that she did almost destroy them. Moments like this are opportunities to create cohesion in the party, and I feel like they're losing it. I feel like they're missing, not losing it. They're missing out on a big chunk here. Maybe this will happen more in the second one than the second one, the episode 40, the next one coming up, because the episode will probably be mostly on the airship. So maybe there will be some time to do that kind of a thing. Then the next episode they'll arrive in Eos, and then that's when a big dramatic cliffhanger will happen, and then they'll take their end of month break. So maybe but yeah, we'll see. This episode I felt like they lost some, and also because it was a short episode, it was only 350.
It was, yeah. And
so like the past few have been like almost 5. So this was almost an hour short, and it felt like there was some opportunities to do stuff, and they didn't take them.
the man, okay, now I'm thinking about this too. With campaign 2, that wasn't without their secrets. They all had their little secrets,
for
right?
sure, for sure.
Of course they did. And there were some things that they didn't know, but they would actively be like,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, what do you I want to talk to that person because I want to
Right.
figure this out for
Right.
myself."
Right.
That seemed to happen a lot in this campaign, like you're saying. Like,
A thought just crossed my mind. I wonder if it's because Laura is playing such a secretive, shy, reclusive character this campaign. Because let's face
it's
it,
just all on her.
Jester was a bratty younger sister in campaign 2, and
Yep.
that promoted a lot of disclosure from the other characters because of her. Hey, so you see, why are you doing that, Ford? We like that accent. Your accent's cool. We like that. And everyone's like, what the fuck? And it's like, Caleb, why do you smell so dirty? Caleb, why are you so dirty? And the whole, yeah, sure, you're awesome. So where did you go? And not you do. She steals the flask, and all of those little things that Jester did to really promote unity and cohesion within the party. Laura maybe taking a back seat in this one with a more of a reclusive character might be part of it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You think
Just crossed
back,
my mind.
You think back to the early days, and I guess it must have been a Talks episode where they're like when they first showed up at the house for Liam's birthday session or whatever the fuck it was, and like Laura got there earlier than I think Sam and Travis, and like when they walked in, she was like talking in this British accent, and they're both like, "What the fuck is she doing?
What is going on
And they're like,
here?"
"She is into this," and then they kind of got more comfortable because she was, just balls deep, So maybe she is the one that just drove home that maybe she's the reason they're on the internet, every week.
She's the catalyst, right?
It's like, So
Could
they'll
be.
just quiet down.
Could
Never
be.
thought about that.
No,
It's interesting.
until just now, I'm like, maybe. Hey, cool. Shall we do some more rollies?
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna win this one. I gotta win.
Yeah,
one.
we'll see what happens.
I'm not gonna win one.
Ooh, I got a 14.
I get an 8.
An 8?
Yep.
Jeez, bud. All right.
I know. 318.
Three for
318
here.
Those are my numbers.
Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and piggyback off of that then a little bit with these little challenge things. That's when Matthew gets to play also.
Yeah, it's true.
I either forgot or I just realized just watching this last episode was that Matthew is also playing. He's not just the cartridge that you put into the console, and that has all the information. He gets to play too. He gets to make decisions. He gets to Matthew. All right, there you go. So with these challenges, he gets to roll and he's like, oh, they have no idea. He can make shit up. Maybe he was like, oh, you know what? Let's have the moon flare up. He gets to do things. He gets to pick up the controller a little bit. I mean, I guess he gets to do it all the time, but I think with these challenge things, it's a little bit easier because, I don't know, it's not as story driven. It's more just like, all right, let's see how this random encounter thing goes, So he gets to just relax a little bit and, let loose. However, from what I was saying before, I feel like it might be a little bit too much just for travel, but especially by air.
I feel like they didn't do nearly this much in the pirate arc, which is exactly at this time of campaign 2 when Ford was going to figure out his backstory. When they're at sea for numerous days, they're out to going to all these different islands, and it's travel, and it wasn't nearly as tumultuous.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe it's it doesn't feel like something is off. It just feels like it just doesn't feel quite right. If that makes sense.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I remember 4 or 5 of the encounters when they were traveling in campaign 2. They just had one random thing where a bunch of fish people, and then they had the one with Avantika. They had the one that Caduceus just toppled the ship over. It didn't even happen. Remember that one? He got that, what was it, divine intervention or something? No, he had a 30% chance of something happening.
Oh, right. And he rolled, right. It was of capsizing the ship, I believe.
Yeah.
And then it was right. And it did it. Yeah. Yep.
Then
That's right. That's right.
Maybe one more when they went to find Vandrin. I'm not really sure. Something like that, but not a whole lot. But they did do a lot of travel by boat,
They did.
First campaign too. I mean, before the tree, they. Wait, it doesn't matter. That was a long time ago. remember there was a moment where some Liam's character died, and then but not for good, and then he recovered, and by the time they got there, he was back to normal. Unless that was campaign 2.
That was. I don't think that was campaign 2. I think that was campaign 1.
I think that was Vax, wasn't it?
Like it sounds like
the all hammer anvil thing in the
that
ocean.
was definitely campaign. Yeah, that was when they went down into the
campaign 1. But yeah, why were they taking a boat instead? They were like, "Oh, let's take a boat. We're done with trees. You know, we do that all the time." And fucking he dies.
No, they did. I believe they did wind walk to get to that place.
Oh, right.
The sea mount. I think they wind walked as clouds to the sea mount, and then they're like sploosh down into it.
Was Cloud's first campaign?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
The farts?
Yeah.
That's right. Oh yeah. That's right. Because
absolutely.
Keyleth did it in battle for the first time,
and it was the dumbest thing ever. Well, guess what you can't do when you're in cloud form?
Everything except move.
That was also back. Good. That happened in this one too, where what Fern did was trying stuff and it didn't. Oh, it was a different version of that. It was like she tried hold person on Chutney and she was like, oh yes, she didn't realize. Ashley made a couple of fun mistakes in this one, doing daylight instead of moonbeam, which is the one she should have done, and hold person, which Chutney gets advantage on. Mm-hmm. Anyway, not a big deal.
I mean, with the sunlight, it's like, hey,
daylight, not sunlight.
Daylight, yeah. Like, hey, snap out of it. Forget about the moon. It's daylight or sunlight.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. Mechanically, it doesn't work that way. That's what moonbeam does. The spell moonbeam. The shapeshifters have disadvantage on their saving throw, and if they fail, they instantly revert back to their form.
Oh, I see. I'm sure.
Moonbeam is it's basically geared for lycanthropes. That's what it's for.
Right. Without knowing that makes perfect sense what she was trying, especially Marisha's response to her gibberish.
Yeah. Oh, daylight. I was thinking that too. I'm like, that's not right. That's not appropriate here.
And did they ever have Moonbeam as any of their characters?
I don't think anybody's ever used it before because they've never had to. They've never faced a shapeshifter like this before.
I wonder if anybody's ever seen the spell, if they understand if that's,
Yeah, it could be that too. But I feel like if kind of, not to get super negative here because I'm really not, but at some point, if your career is D&D, then you sort of got to look at, if you're a spellcaster, you probably should read through every single spell. Do your homework, take a couple of hours,
get a hammock,
read through them all. Get a hammock. Read all this. That's what I do.
It'll solve all your problems.
I mean, okay.
They might be more busy than we are, so they might not have as much downtime, but everybody's got downtime.
I follow all of them on Instagram. All they do is just hang out and bake pizzas and
stuff. And I would say also maybe like for a person like Sam, I think he prepares enough as a player, but without knowing his spells.
Yep.
I think Liam does enough for everybody.
Sure. God damn, he's good as a battle master, eh? Wow.
Yeah, he is.
Wow. That level 7 battle master just puts everyone on lock. Like Chutney didn't have a chance in that PvP. I was just watching it, I was like, man, he's good. It doesn't matter. It's just like AC of 27 with bait and switch. And then he's like, and then I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna slip, and I'm gonna go under here. It's like, holy fuck, it's good. It's so good. Fighters are not boring. Yeah. Fighters are not boring. Play them.
Whoever's saying that out there, you know who you are.
Okay, I will. If I can do mine.
Yeah.
I have one that's 2 small parts, and it's about the cane. It's about turmoil. Lord Esteros's cane, which is my first part is. This is one of the very, very first times I've ever seen a natural 20 fail.
Right.
Where they have the toxin or the remains of the blood, which has the toxin in it. FCG rolls a natural 20 to figure out what it is. For a total of 26. And he gets nothing.
Yeah. Well, he's very sure that he doesn't recognize it.
Right.
Which has happened once before with a natural 20.
Has it?
I think it was in the first campaign. It was like, do I hear anything? And it was a natural 20, and Matthew went, no. And like, that's the most sure no you've ever heard in your life. I think it was campaign 1. I'm not sure.
Okay. Maybe it's happened before that as well. But this is something I feel like even a little bit like, okay, that kind of a natural 20 I get. This is sort of more of like a knowledge. Like, okay, so if you're in a completely dark forest and there are no bad guys around and you're listening for bad guys and you roll a 20, nope, there are no bad guys around. So you're sure.
Right.
So it's that one I can understand. But the one of the natural 20, do I know what this thing is? It's a natural 20 for a total of 26. It's like, okay, you don't, normally I would agree with this and I would be like, yeah, okay, you don't know what it is. A 26 isn't high enough because a natural 20 doesn't automatically mean you know things that you shouldn't know. But even, it really boggled my mind.
I think that's it.
I think that is it. And I know that's it. But I still think, I'm like, wait, it was still a natural 20. Like, he should have more of a, well, who knows? Maybe I'm reading too much into it. Maybe I'm hoping for too much. But I am curious about what that means. Like, Matt sort of went, I think where I'm really going with this is Matt sort of went, you're pulling you from this vast encyclopedic knowledge that you didn't know you had. You're flipping through textbooks in your mind. No. You don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's like,
so all these things that you might think it is, it's kind of like that other one, you know, it's like, it's not one of those with your natural 20.
Which makes me believe it's not from Exandria. It's from Ruidus.
It's open space from those penguins or whatever the fuck.
100% from something different, which is cool. Then my next two-parter on that one is, and this is really the question one that I have for you.
For me?
Yeah, sure. Well, it's a conversation point. Okay. It's a cane that turns into a scythe, which has some bit of magic associated with it, which we don't know. It wasn't mentioned what it is. There's been some speculation that it might be healing. It might be a little bit of vampiric touch in there or something like that. But regardless, it's a very fucking cool weapon.
Yes.
Who's going to use it?
Well, I mean, it seems funny, but it could go in the hands of Chetney, you know, because he's got the strength to hold it. I just don't really see it going in the hands of Ashton.
No.
Even though it was given to him, you know.
I think the whole idea of Ashton giving up his maul is preposterous. Mm-hmm. So I think unless something ridiculously badass, we talked about this last time, like another maul or a huge fucking kick-ass weapon, not a scythe. That's not his vibe. So I think Orem is too small for it, although he could use the cane, I suppose. But it seems like it's got to be Chet, right?
Yeah, and it's strange, you know, because Chetney's also pretty damn small.
Yeah, but I think he was saying in this one that he reverts to medium size when he becomes a werewolf.
Right.
So a werewolf with a silver scythe is pretty fucking badass.
Well, hold on a second, though. Because when he first turned into a werewolf, they brought out the mini, and I remember Liam, he was like, it's a terrier, because it was this very small werewolf.
Yeah, but
I don't know if he changed this time, or if it was like the gnome part was gone. This is just the wolf side.
During the PvP with Orem being a halfling can duck around through the legs of enemies that are one size bigger than him. Yeah. And he specifically asked Matt, and Matt confirmed, yes, you can do that.
Right. This time.
So
we don't know if this is a permanent thing or not. This might just be because of this flare that Matthew's bringing out, because he said it was very much different transformation, because he was like, it's like you tore off this gnome suit and tossed it aside. Like, this is just the wolf side.
The red eyes too, man. Like that. There's a bunch of stuff, and then
so I don't feel like it's permanent. You know, I feel like this is just you failed that thing, and this is part of the challenge.
Yeah, we'll see.
And then he failed again because his hit points were low.
Was under half. Sweet. Yeah, that's silly. That DC is hilarious too, because that DC is only 8. I didn't know that. The DC
and he rolled up.
The DC to lose that feral ferocity or whatever it's called is only a DC of 8. It's like you pretty much get that every time. Like that shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah. Wait, what's the roll? So DC's 8 of a wisdom.
Wisdom. Yeah.
Is his wisdom any good? Is he like kind of middle of the road?
I think it's middle of the road. Yeah. I think it's just basically. It might even be just a straight roll. No, I'm not sure. Not sure.
It's straight roll. That would make me nervous every time.
It would be one of those where you'd want to get some kind of a magical item that would let you get advantage on wisdom saving throws.
Yeah.
A little an ion stone or something like that, where you want to get some good magic item that would let you do that, because that's gonna come back to bite him in the ass again at some point, for sure.
What do you think that? Pretty sure it's homebrew. This is just a side thought that I just had.
Yeah, sure.
Of FCG's ability, if somebody gets a crit, nat 20, he gets advantage on the next roll.
On the next, I kind of dig it. I think there's as I'm playing
fun,
more and
very
more
video
and more,
gamey, you know.
Yeah, as I'm playing more and more fifth edition, I'm realizing that a lot of these things are well balanced. And I don't think that, I think that Matt, being as experienced and being so heavily involved in the writing of D&D books, is very much aware of things being balanced. So clearly,
damn good at it too.
there is to get advantage like that, he's missing out on some other cleric's ability. And it's like, so whenever he got it, I don't know when he got that. I think it may have been level 7. There could have been a class feature at 7 that would that other clerics would get, and this is what he got instead, which is in balance with what other clerics would get at that same level. That's my take. That's my take on it.
Yeah.
So I think it is balanced.
Yeah, it seems pretty cool.
Almost everything that gives you advantage or disadvantage is well thought out. There's reasons for it. So the fact that they're not rolling, they don't roll a lot of nat 20s in the game. They just don't. It's just not a lot of them. There's a handful every session. So to give him advantage on some rolls I have no problem with it.
Yeah, Orem's probably in the lead just because he has the action surge, right?
Yeah, and advantage. He already has advantage on perception checks, etc. With Chetney and Fern both have advantage on checks too because of their Fey natures, or Chetney because of Gnome and Fern because of Fey. Huh. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Interesting thought. Let's do another roll because I'm down 3-0.
Yeah, I'm just about out here.
Okay, I got a few more.
Of course, I get a fucking nat 20.
I got a 2. Fucking hell, man! I haven't rolled over 10 yet.
I haven't rolled under 15 yet.
Okay, well I know what mine's gonna be anyway.
Remember, when I didn't want a nat 20, of course that's what I get. Well, shit. I guess I gotta choose something out of here. One of these things. Oh man. I guess this one does go back to Foresighted Dive a little bit, but a little bit on this campaign as well.
All right.
Way back in the day when Ashley said like she loves to see Taliesin at Ren Fair because it's just like his element, and he just turns into this person. Everybody knows his name, and he's just like, oh hey everybody, and he's just in his element the way that you can imagine somebody is.
Yep.
And then you see Foresighted Dive where he seems like a little bit awkward sometimes when somebody says something funny, and like he's not the most fluent with humor, No. When people are being funny, but then when you see him at the table,
the word I think you're looking for is esoteric.
Esoteric? What? Like in life?
His vibe with humor and with funny things. It's not quite. It's just slightly off kilter.
Well, esoteric. All right, I'll have to look into that. Okay. Don't know that word other than from video games. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but sure. Yeah, but then at the table, I think he's quite well in his element at the table when the game starts. Because like in the beginning during the ad reads, they were like. They had to put the graphic on the bottom because he kind of forgot to say the website because maybe he got a little caught up or something. But as soon as that starts rolling, he's just wajunk, right in that character role. And that's all.
Okay,
just an observation.
I like it. He made a fucking amazing comment that I haven't heard in 30 plus years, maybe more. At 3 hours, the exact 3 hours point when they just started off on the skyship journey. And chat caught it. A couple of people, because I don't watch chat the first time through. The second time I do, but I caught this my very first time I watched it. Subtitles helped a lot. At 3 hours, when they said 1,100 kilometers, he sort of goes, "Hey, Millborn." Oh, Millborn and change, and I'm like, oh, I know what that means. It's a French game. It's a card game where you play a specific game of cards, because a born, B-O-R-N-E-S, a born is kilometer, and it means 1,000 kilometer. The game is the first to 1,000 kilometers. Whoever gets there. And you're basically playing cards to try and slow your opponents down so you can get to 1,000 kilometers first. It is an ancient French game.
Wow.
Proper French.
And how do you know about this?
My one of my very close family friends growing up, they were French. French Canadian, but they were still French. And they had a deck of Millborn. I'm sure I'm butchering the name, but it's a very, very obscure French game.
Man, what a catch.
I was like, whoa, I played that when I was a kid. Like a kid, little kid. Wild. But that really surprised me. Really surprised me.
And that guy, he really has been alive for a long time, isn't he?
I was like, how? So it's just a very, very weird observation by him that really, like, people in chat were commenting on it too. And I'm like, oh yeah, of course other people know about it. But man, for me, it was super obscure. But that's not my yes. And I'm going to go with speaking of like the rent. So I'm going to segue this one weirdly with the fact that you're talking about Ren Fair, where Travis dropped that coin into the porta, the rare coin or whatever. That got brought up again this episode when FCG was buying the 25 gold piece coin with the Dooman logo on it, the coin maker's logo on it.
I think that's why he chose to make it a coin, just to give Travis a little bit of shit,
a little bit, yeah. Nice. But I still want to know what it's for. No idea. 25 gold piece coin. I also, in that shopping thing, Imogen was looking for a 400 gold piece ruby, then decided not to look for it, then decided to go get it, and then she went and got it again. So she did end up going to get it. Nobody knows what it's for.
Right.
There is no 400 gold piece ruby component in any book anywhere.
400. Come on, what a number.
What a weird number, right? Very weird number. It also, there's no other I was reading through Reddit this weekend trying to scour, like, does anybody know what it might be? People were proposing stuff that are 400 gold pieces, components, but they don't make sense. So this is very homebrew.
Homebrewed. Yep.
Who knows what it is? And I mean, like, those two little things are going to be really, really fun. What are they for?
Yeah.
What are they shopping for?
I think with the coin, the impression I got immediately was, hey, Travis, remember when you fucked up with that coin or whatever? It's like, there's still probably cool coins, but I'm sure he'd paid 10 times as much as he needed for them. And then he did eventually say that it's like, it can be anything. It just has to be worth 25, you know? He did say that. So I think I don't think it read that well across the table that he was poking fun at Travis, but that's what I think he was doing, especially because Laura was the one shopping for him.
Yeah.
But I don't know if she picked up on that, or it's like, so it has to be a coin? It's like, this is going over your head, isn't it? Never mind. Just anything. All right.
Well, what do you think the ruby is for? I have a small theory about it, but I'm not sure.
Something to do with her ruinous shit,
Good.
I mean, it's red, so it's a ruby, right? I mean, that's as much as I've got.
Yeah, the red. Well, that's all I got too. The red ruby is sort of a giant red flag. But the 400 gold piece thing is weird. It's a weird number.
It is.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. Yeah, I don't know.
For like 100, 300. I don't think I've heard 500, like 1,000. I don't know. 25,000. I'm wondering if her mom knows.
Yeah, man, that was oof. That's the cliffhanger, right?
Yep. I think it was a great cliffhanger.
It's just so good. This fucking table reaction killed me.
Yeah.
Like, what?
I think
You're changing the rules. You're changing the rules.
I think Matthew decided in that moment, he's like, this has got to be the end. I can't do this right now.
I think that's why the episode ended a little short, because I think he sort of realized that, this is the right spot.
Yeah, we can't get into this right now. Yep. And maybe he wasn't prepared to get into that right now,
Possibly.
Hate to say it, but maybe Matthew's not prepared sometimes.
She's been saying she's going to message mom for a few episodes now.
Right.
And then to suddenly do it, I mean, like, Matt sort of brought it on himself. He's like, yeah, you see your mom, and she says run, and she's whiffs away, and,
What was Liam saying? Sorry. Oh, we're not even next to an hour yet. Only 7 minutes left, 6 minutes left.
Yeah, sure.
It feels like more. Because you're so fucking boring. I'm joking. What was Liam saying at the end there? Like, kind of not like he was like, no, I think it's amazing, but it really makes some sense that of course she'd be alive or something.
He said, mechanics wise, she almost certainly is alive. And the like, don't you minimize this? He's like, I'm not minimizing it. I think it's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I think it's amazing.
Like, he's talking about like rules of spells or something.
Yeah, well, sending the character has to be alive.
Oh, okay.
The person has to be alive, right? That's the whole point of sending.
Well, yeah, that's why everybody was like, oh, there she is. But you can choose not to respond.
Absolutely. Yep. Mm-hmm. So yeah, what he was saying was, and then Travis, it wasn't. I don't think there was any real animosity there, and I'm sure there was no animosity there. I think more Travis was like, "Don't minimize it. That was amazing," because he was just responding to the fact that said, "Wait, she's alive?" And Liam's like, "Well, yeah, she has to be alive."
Well, now, yeah, he knows now.
She has to be. Or in typical Liam fashion, he's like, almost certainly it has to be alive. It's like, yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah, what was the deal with that? Like, it's been more than just this time. What am I thinking of? There was another situation in which someone didn't want to contact somebody. Was it Evandrin? Evandrin. Was it Vandrin? Was it Jester's mom? Was it Campaign 2?
Campaign 2 is where we got the most of the sending. Yeah, maybe. I don't think I feel like Matt's never really played it. It could have been Essek. Jester sent Essek a lot of dumb messages.
Yeah.
So he might have been like...
No, there was the one, like, I'm thinking, like, they didn't send them a message for a reason, is what I'm thinking of. It's like, why haven't you tried this? It's like, well, was that this campaign with, like, FCG? Oh, it was FCG and Dancer.
Dancer, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what it was, right?
Yep.
And why didn't he do that? Because he was scared.
Well, Imogen sort of said the same thing about Mom. She said about what's her name? Liliana.
That sounds right.
Liliana Tumult. I got it written down.
Tumult.
Yeah, lavender hair. Lavender hair. Strange.
It's a good color for hair.
Yeah,
it's got to mean something, right?
It does. It's weird. It made me laugh when Matt's like, "You're just having a regular, nice, wonderful dream. What are you dreaming about?" And he's like, "Well, it'd be wonderful, fantastic. It'd be it'd be Laudna and I in one of the huts in one of our journeys, and we'd just be baking cookies." And chat fucking exploded. "Oh, baking cookies, are you? Is that what it is?
Jesus Christ.
Is that what you're baking cookies, are you? With you and Laudna baking cookies."
Fucking hell. Am I losing it, or I didn't even think of that? I mean,
the euphemism is just like, yep. Well, because it wasn't much before. I'm surprised they didn't. The chat or the party, the table. Jesus, I'm surprised the table didn't jump on it, because the whole thing that, what does Pretty say? Pretty's like, "Well, now I have to."
Oh yeah, I'm gonna drain the bacon grease. Which they all jumped on.
They totally. That's what I'm saying. Like, why they didn't jump on the whole? I'd just be in a little hut with Laudna baking cookies.
Yeah. Like, I mean, that, Laura did say pretty immediately, because she just got the recipe, and I'm thinking about cookies.
Sure.
But the other one too, when Fern was trying to calm Mr. Werewolf down.
Oh yeah.
It's like, "Hey, big guy," everyone was like,
yeah.
It was just, "Hey, big guy." I had to go back and be like, what the fuck are they laughing about?
She literally was just like, "Hey."
Just the voice, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, the moon's going down. Like, okay. But she said that like through laughter. I'm like,
right.
I didn't catch that one either until I'm like, what are you got? Oh, that's it? Really? Jesus, it's a bunch of Lauras at the table. Right there with you. It's just, it takes me a little bit longer. So I got 1 out of 3. Drain the bacon grease was hilarious.
There was when Chet so there was another one that made me laugh at 3. I got a timestamp because I love timestamping shit. 3 hours, 3:16:16. It was a fun number. 3:16:16. This is right after the dream, after Imogen's dream. It's her mom. She turns around, it's her mom, and Matt's like, "Meanwhile, Chetney, I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw." And he fails. He rolls a 6. And he's like, "Chetney, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw." And he's like, "Oh my God, I'm your mom." That made me laugh. I was like, "Holy fuck, Travis!" And the rest of the table laughed at it too. That was pretty funny.
What was the other one? He was like, "I knew it. You're my daughter. I know it."
Yeah.
Like, I hooked up with your mom
hooked up with your mom like 400 years ago.
Like, I knew it. Was that after the game was over?
That was after Matt called it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was good.
There was another, just if we're talking about fun little moments, there's one that I wrote down here that I really, really, really enjoyed, where when Orem and Fern and Travis are fighting, Orem and Fern and Chetney are fighting. And
Travis in there.
that Fern and Orm's go, Travis sort of goes, yeah, so what am I doing? Like asking Matt, what am I doing here? Am I conscious of what's happening?
Could I be to fuck him up or
could I use my blood hunter stuff?
Yeah.
And Matt was like, nah, you're just scratching the itch. You're just trying to, and I'm like, that's nice. I like that I'm really, really happy because I was sort of thinking it at the time. I'm like, why isn't he using other things? Why? And Matt's like, no, I'm really more just happy that Travis asked. It's like, just ask about this shit because it really helps you to get into the mindset. Like, what would I be doing here? Should I be doing this or no, I shouldn't be? Okay, perfect. I'm going to go. It reminded me of the time when with the Mighty Nine, when they're in the city of beasts and Caleb gets charmed by the succubus. And he's like, well, I know it should be this one.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
He points at the fireball. It's like, yep. Yes, it should be.
Doesn't he? I might be making it up, but he says something like, I don't think Caleb would do that. I think he might do this. And you're like, you're right. Go ahead.
You're right. Yeah. And Laura freaks out and he's like, don't help
do that. Yeah.
That's
good. Role play. I like it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful role play.
And I was right there with Travis's question. It seemed more of a feral, just, this is just the wolf side, not really the gnome side,
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
At least that's what I got from it because of the size difference, but I could be wrong. It could be a permanent thing. Who knows? Maybe he got extra things from that extra flair, I don't know. It really impressed me. Like even Orem using a non-magical weapon, which means half damage against the lycanthrope. It really amazed me at his ability as a fighter. That just level 7. Just this is what I will do. Superiority die, tactics. All of this, the bait and switch and the goading attacks and all these different battle master stuff is just awesome. And awesome play. With fighting, I suppose instinct really takes over, right? But what did they say? Was it Chetney has the highest intelligence and Orem is number 2?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
That's right. That's exactly
right. It seems so strange with all the magic going on that they met, but I guess it's wisdom based mostly.
No, charisma. It's charisma. Yeah. Sorcerers and warlocks, man. And druid. Claire. Oh, so yeah, okay. Yeah. So it's Laudna is charisma based. Imogen is charisma based. Fern is wisdom based, and FCG is wisdom based. Right. So there's no intelligence needed there.
That's weird, man.
It's all Yeah,
it's like video games is like the intelligent ones. They're the
the spellcasters.
Either that or faith in some video games. Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Yeah. Well, hey man, my book is closed.
Hey dude, I'm done.
Yeah.
Good one. I got nothing more to say about nothing.
Yeah, I had a couple more things in there, but one of them was kind of negative, and I kind of changed my mind since then. That's all good. Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like they're on their way to. They're on their way to EOS. They're now under contract again with from Seshadri to find Odahan Thule.
Mistress Shashadri.
Mistress Shashadri. Yeah. So we'll see where they go. Again, I don't really understand why they're going to EOS. I think they're going to get more information. I think that was sort of the guys.
Is there someone there that they,
No, they gave Seshadri all the letters.
Right, that's right. Okay.
So they're not delivering a letter. They're going there to get more information. I don't really know why they're going there either. And they're going to for the Gorgonai on the way. It's a little bit of a roundabout. It's right on the way. So they're gonna, I think in day so maybe next. Oh shit, yeah. I take it back about saying that they're not going to go straight to EOS. They're going to stop. Next session is going to be next 2 sessions might be all about the Gorgonai. This will be interesting.
There's also
never thought about that.
Strong hint of what they're doing is they're saying let's cut over the mountains and let's compromise because a day we spend here is another day that Thule has to do whatever she's doing. Right. So I guess they're kind of chasing Thule, which maybe she's going to EOS. I keep wanting to say EOS because of the Mass Effect.
Oh, right.
Ilos, I think is what it's called.
Is it? I don't remember. I played both. I played 1 and 2. I love those games. They're great.
There's a new one on the way.
I heard. Good games, man. Good games. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
2 was really good. I really
that was the best by far, in my opinion. Yeah, anyway, hey, I gotta go. Don't have to pee, but gotta take care of my throat a little bit. I'm starting to cough a little bit more.
All good. Understand.
No COVID. Just a
Hey
little.
man, it was great chatting with you again, as always.
It's good to
Really
get back.
enjoyed it.
Yeah. How do we do this? I forget every time we
How
have
do
a
you wanna
little
do
break.
this?
Yeah, get in touch down there. All the information's down there. Best way to get in touch is with comments.
Yeah.
No, I guess maybe email if we get a
We
flood
had
of
a
them.
couple of new people mention. I don't remember who you are, but thanks for commenting about stuff.
Yeah, sure. It's the best way to get in touch.
Yep.
And keep doing so. Yeah. And if there's nothing else, Ben?
I'm good.
All right. Yeah. What do I say? It's don't forget to love each other. That's right. And is it finally Friday?
Hey.
See, I remember how to do this. Cheers, everybody. Peace.
Peace.